forget. That's got to be somebody's job. Somebody else that didn't get a job that wanted a job, remind Mrs. Roberts to press record, especially if you go to hybrid, because I'm gonna have to do it every single day and I forget because I get going. All right, so that will be somebody's job, reminding me to press record. It's an easy job. All right, properties of water. So the one property we did not get to last week is this one. Name these terms. When we put this into water, it's going to make hydrogen ions, which are H+. Okay, when we put this into water, it's going to make hydroxide ions, which is OH-. And then there are just some important chemicals that are these two key terms that we're going to talk about this year. What is HNO3 and what is H2SO4, and then what is NaOH and CaOH subscript 2. So what are those called? If you are having problems accessing this, please just write your answers in the chat box, because if I'm seeing nothing, I need to address that and follow up on it, especially if you're struggling in the class itself. Good, I see Wolf and Selena and Saisha and Owen and Mason and Maggie, Caden, Carly, Joseph, Drake, good. Okay, good. As long as you don't know, that's fine too. Just make sure you take notes on it then while we're doing this so that you have something. Good, Tegan, there you go. Good. Because just a blank whiteboard. I don't know what's happening. I cannot see into your homes. I cannot wander around in a classroom and look down and talk to you. So this is the way we need to do it for now. All right, let's look. Some of you have it. It is called being an acid or a base. So acids like hydrochloric acid, right? HCl means if I put hydrochloric acid into water, it will dissociate. It will pull apart into H+ and Cl-. And if you're dissociating and pulling apart into H+, then you are an acid, okay? And if you're doing the opposite, if you have hydroxide, OH-, then you're considered a base. And some important acids for acid rain are nitric and sulfuric. We'll talk about what emits these kind of acids that then mix with rain to cause acid rain. And then sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. So we measure this on something called a pH scale. pH stands for the negative log of the hydrogen ion concentration in solution. And you don't need to know the details of that until you're in grad school. But I do want you to know in general that we can measure this with pH strips, which are the little yellow pieces of paper that if you picked up a kit from me, you have access to. If you did not pick up a kit, we're going to look at a demo today on how to make an indicator. In the classroom, we have meters and a pH sensor. But today you're going to go back to the stream. You are going to click on the thing that says APES template 2020, see, think, wonder. And we're going to watch a demonstration about pH. So we're going to do this testing acids at home. And again, you will have a chance to do one of these on Flipgrid for extra credit, but for class time, you just have to fill this out. You're going to have to scroll down because you'll see first period already did this. So scroll down till you see a place to put your name. There's two here. I watched one and then found a different one that I liked a little better. So if you're struggling and after we watch this first one, you can watch this other one if you need more additional help on it. And yes, it says warning, this experiment uses corrosive materials. So you would want to use more than just protective gloves. You should have on goggles or glasses of some sort if you're doing this. And do not do this with one of the chemicals he talks about, which is like stuff like Drano. That stuff's nasty. Don't want you breathing it or have a chance of spilling it. But you can test other things that aren't quite as caustic. All right, as soon as you are ready, put a thumbs up or a green yes check mark by your name, and we will watch the demonstration. Good, I see Ashley's ready to go, Dominic's ready to go, Emily, Jenna, good, Carly and Catherine, excellent. Looks like everybody's ready to go, or most of you. All right, let me get this started, get past the ads. So that is another one you can do as well for your Flipgrid bonus points. Only a few of you took advantage of that, but I really made my weekend to watch you trying science and doing science. And so you do get extra points when you do that. And I get to know what you're like. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. Even if you are trying it and talking science, it will count. All right, back to your see, think, and wonder. I want to give you a couple minutes to fill this out while it's fresh in your head. If you are having trouble with this document, then just do it on a Google Doc and add it later. I'm just looking through some of your guys' answers and what you're writing. So I see Colin and Owen, Dijana, Wolf, Carly, good. Emily, Sophia, Helena, Jean, Drake. Good. So remember, think is where you're trying to apply your knowledge and your science to explain what you saw. And then wonder is kind of the questions. How would you change this? What are some other things you would experiment with? It is sort of cabbage water. It's strained cabbage water. I'm sure it was an accident, Caden. But yes, I do see Mason and Caden in the same box. They combine it when it enters another page. All right, another minute or so. You should be moving on to the think and wonder part. Yeah, it's probably taken a while for it to show up on my screen, but it'll be there. As soon as you are done with your wonder, go ahead and put yes by your name again. We are going to start getting logged into a Kahoot to see how you're doing on all the chapter 2. Dominic's doing coffee instead. I like that idea. Yes, you have a coffee icon as well, or hot cocoa. Don't forget that I will be grabbing these Kahoots from your stream, and they are public, which means you can practice them anytime you want. So if you want to see the one first period did that was just on water and macromolecules, it's here. I just don't like it as well as this one that we're going to do for third period, because there were some answer choices that weren't the best. So don't forget, you can always go back before the end of the day. Whoa, that's loud. For the end of the day and add to that chart. But we're going to go ahead and do this Kahoot so we have time to talk about our lab as well today. So I see Sophia, Caden, Diana, and Catherine, Joey, Avery. That's okay, Avery. Hopefully it'll unfreeze here later when we're all offline. All right, I see 25 of you, 27, and I should have 32 of you. So I'm missing 5 of you, and then we'll get started. All right, 3 of you and 2 of you. If you are unable to get on the Kahoot, just put your answer in the chat box. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is on your first case study. Oh, Mason got let somebody in. So make sure you look up the word terminal lake and reread that section on Mono Lake. Still on the start screen. Let me. The salinity problem at Mono Lake was corrected after. Yes, 2 of them. Right, the very first couple slides, and first target is on matter versus mass and elements and compounds. Good, anything that has volume and mass. Measure the amount of matter. Right, remember that you need to know the difference between atomic number and mass number. Yes, and Atomic number tells you about what kind of element it is, which matches the protons because they match the electrons. Right, elements versus compounds. So this is showing you a picture of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon can form 4 bonds, which is what makes us organic beings. It makes all sorts of combinations by making those 4 bonds. Right, isotopes. We're going to talk about radioactive isotopes and unstable isotopes in our next live session. Yes, so same number of protons, different number of neutrons. Good, 100%. It's cohesion of water creates surface tension. Water to itself. So pH scales are logarithmic, so it's 10 times 10. So 4, 5, 6, that's a 2 unit shift. So you take 10 and you multiply by 10. This matter cannot be created or destroyed. Right, and this is the section we have not gone through. Amino acids make up proteins. I will have to increase the seconds then. I wonder if it's just lagging, showing it to you. Extinction of a species can be the result of right, our winners. Missing only one. Nice, Jenna. Missing 0, Carly. And missing 0 and being fast, Kimber Ann. Very nice. And then Lobsang and Catherine. All right, I need everyone to go back to the stream page again. And we're going to pull up one document, and then another document is going to be linked to it. At least that's my hope, and I'm going to be checking that. So when we go to your stream page, I'm going to click on classwork. I'm going to go down to this week, which is right here, You'll see your ed puzzles. You'll see that Google form quiz. You'll see what we're going to do on our next live session on the half-life of candium. You'll see the bookwork about that math and practicing that problem on energy efficiency. You'll see your FRQ. And what I want you to click on today is this, the biodiversity lab. And then you have two things. You have the Google slides, which is what I'm going to look at today. And then you have the template for the actual lab. So we're just going to click on the one that's to the left, which is the Google slide. And what I'm checking is when I come down to these third period slides, which will be towards the bottom. Actually, you guys are probably towards the middle since it's first and third. And then I'm just seeing, does everyone have a question at the top? So for example, if I'm looking at this one on my screen right now, let me make sure I'm sharing. It says, is biodiversity greater near a river or a creek? And we're actually gonna, this group should add in the word riparian zone. So those regions that are right next to creeks and rivers or waterways are called riparian zones. They are usually protected by law for, and depending upon the land that the river or creek goes through. But riparian zone is a good word to learn. Felix, Jean, Joseph, and Dominic, I can see that everybody has a different role that's listed. And then the next thing I want to be able to see is when I click on your biodiversity lab, that it takes me to your lab, not someone else's. So if I click here, I should see where you guys are going to put your data today. So this takes me to Connor, Finnegan, Cole, and Braden. So I'm going to go back and then I'm going to click on this one because it looks like they have two of them. And what that means is you guys should delete that one that doesn't go to yours. And then what we're doing today is you are going to start filling in these charts. So you need to be going outside and making at least 10 observations and all of you contributing. So whoever shared this document, which is probably your techie, needs to give editor privileges to everyone on your team. So if Dominic, Joseph, and Jean, Felix, and Joseph are all in this group, they all need to have editing privileges so they can be adding their species that they're finding for looking at. Yes, you are only using one Google Doc per team, and you'll have one Google slide per team. So let me look at somebody else's now. So Tommy, Gavin, here we go. This is a group that's here. Does the front or backyard have more biodiversity? Good, I see they have their question, they have their roles. And if I click on their biodiversity link, let's see where it takes me. It takes me to a lab that says Owen, Wolf, Lobsang, and Corbin. So that's good because that matches what group this is. Right, and then I see Laura, Heather, Savannah, and Danny on this one. Let's go up. All right, does a front yard or backyard have greater biodiversity? And I'm just checking that your link takes me to the right place. Saisha, okay, I'll look. Brianna, yeah. Okay, so this one's linked correctly. You should not, yes, everyone should be working on it together. You have to give it, what we're working on today is a tech skill of making sure you can go and add all your team members to one document and make sure that they all have editing privileges. All right, this one looks good. Who is this? Kimber Ann, Carly, and Helena. Let me go check your link. Yes, you were all doing observations. So you're all going to add in your own observations into this chart. Okay, so this one needs to be resaved So make a copy of this and resave it. So this group, Kimberann, Carly, and Helena, it's taking me to the template, and it needs to take me to your document where you copied the template and then renamed it and then put your information in it.
The little star is a link. If you click on star on the slide, it takes you to the doc.
I didn't hear you. My sound was turned down. Can you say it again?
If you click on the little star on the slide, it takes you to the document.
Oh, okay. I see this one. Ah, okay. Then you are good. Let's see. Tegan, Brianna. Yours is. Who was it? Saisha wanted me to check something. Where is that? I see Sophia, Kale, Ashley, and Quinn. Emily, Maggie, and Ambert. Lena, Caden, Evan, and Mason. There we go. I want to check your link. Biodiversity in the sun and the shade. Okay, and I'm requesting access, but you want to open your access to me so that I can see your stuff. Okay, Madeline, Jenna, Jagger, Avery, and Drake. Let's make sure your link is right. Okay, that's good. Make sure everyone on your team can edit that actual Google